Hi there, Fiddler Dan here, and I have a special treat for you today. I've got one of those wonderful, amazing violins that you can buy for less than $100 on the internet. And I've got it here in my shop, and I thought I'd show you what you can get for $100. So, firstly, you get a pretty nice case, quite serviceable, and you get this lovely looking violin. Look at that. Just a lovely looking instrument, isn't it? Have a look here. Beautiful spruce on the top. Okay, there's painted purfling here, but that's okay. Looks like real maple sides there. And have a look at the back of this. Gorgeous, isn't it? Look at the flame on that. All for less than $100. So why would you go and spend $400 or $500 to get a violin that's like this? Why indeed? Well, the chin rest is okay. It feels like it's not ebony or plastic, but a cheaper wood. Tailpiece is quite nice. Inbuilt adjusters. Certainly if you're looking for features, they're all there. And bridge, well, that's a student bridge, but it's reasonably well fitted. Nice ebony fingerboard there, and well fitted. And these are actually genuine ebony pegs, and it looks like a maple scroll box and neck there. So pretty good violin, really. And let's have a look at the bow. Looks like your standard Brazil wood bow. If I look at the stiffness of it, yeah, it's stiff enough that it'd be okay for a beginner. And the case is quite nice. So, what's not to love? Well, here's one I prepared earlier. So when we have a look at the fingerboard, looks like a nice ebony fingerboard. Certainly if you look underneath, it looks like it's ebony, but ta-da, it's actually what looks like a low-grade maple. So probably an offcut from the violin workshop there. So it's hard enough. Probably be okay for learning on, and by the time you know you need a better violin, you'll be getting one. If you look up in the nut here, though, this is where some of the problems can start. It's not actually a maple nut, ebony nut, so you can see the other timber peeking through there. So the strings will wear that down fairly quickly, which won't be great. The neck itself, as I said before, is looks like it's maple. If I put a bit of pressure under that, it's quite stiff enough, so that's certainly going to hold together. But here's where it gets really interesting. I took the top off this one. I did that earlier. It took some time actually, because the glues used weren't the normal glues that you see on violins. And certainly when you look inside, if we look a bit closer there, you can see that that white glue there. Just lick my finger. That looks like a PVA or something like that, which you tend not to see in violins. We look at the top block there. That's definitely not spruce, I don't think. And when we look here now at the lovely base plate here, what we can see is, no, that's not actually timber. That looks like plywood. Looks like it's been pressed into shape rather than carved. And if we take a closer look at the top plate, what looks like spruce, when we turn that over, yes, that's definitely plywood. And certainly if I look here where I can see the end grain, I don't know if you can see that in the camera here all that clearly. It looks like it's about 5-ply. So there's a nice layer of spruce on top, and then it's plywood underneath. Plywood's great for structural strength, but it makes things a bit stiff, and certainly you won't get the resonance out of it that you need in a violin. Speaking of resonance, there's the bass bar, and that's some pretty coarse timber there. It feels like it's a pine of some sort, probably not spruce. And certainly it doesn't have the grain lines running the correct way along here, so it's not going to sound great. So too for the bottom. that's definitely plywood, and so once that really does look like lovely maple on the back, but sadly it's a veneer. Will I take the brand label off? No, I don't think I will. I'll leave that there, but you're welcome to contact me to find out what brand instrument this is. And if you've bought one, and for less than $100, it's pretty reasonable value for what you're getting, but it's never going to have a great sound. Despite the fact that inside it, this is probably the best bit of timber in the whole of the violin. The sound post is made of a quite nice grain spruce, which is what you expect in a sound post. So that's the best bit in the whole violin. And probably if you're looking at the violin from the outside, you go, yep, maple back, spruce top, oh, good sound post in it, must be a good violin. But they just don't sound that good. So thanks for listening. If you bought one of these violins, I'm very sorry. It looks nice, but it's just never going to sound great. Please don't bring it to me to try and get it to sound better. Though, of course, I have better violins in the workshop that I'd be happy to let you have for a reasonable price. So that's it from me for today, Fiddler Dan, and your sub $100 violin. Happy playing and keep practicing. Bye for now.